We've seen how to make our parser extensible, and this lets us, as a language implementer, derive a new extended language that's based on sugar, extending the parser so we don't have to re-implement the interpreter. Um, so there's one drawback is that when we use this new sugar, we need to use our new wrapper around it with the extended parser. So everyone has to know what is the right interpreter to use for a given curly program with some sugar extensions. And also if person A makes one set of sugar extensions and person B makes another set of extensions, then they don't automatically play together. Someone else has to do some extra work to combine A and B into a new extension of the parser and a new bigger language. There's an even better alternative to having an extensible parser, and that is to have an extensible language where inside of the language, that's inside of curly, you have a way to add new forms to a curly program. So there's always just one interpreter that accommodates curly programs where the curly programs themselves add new parsing rules. And so you don't have to say which interpreter to use. You always just use the curly interpreter. And whatever extensions that a program needs, it builds them into the program, and so it's up to the program itself to mix and match different sets of extensions. They can work together in a better way. So that's where we're going with curly. We're going to turn curly into an extensible language. And the way we do that is that when we had let built into the parser, then you would just write let, and there had to be some parse rule that knew how to rearrange it. But we've seen that we can write these parsing rules. We can write them as S-expression to S-expression programs. And so what we're going to do is add a notion of S-expressions to curly so that we can, within curly, write the let function that converts S-expressions to S-expressions. Now that function has to be invoked in a special way, so we don't just let bind let itself. Instead, we need a new core thing in curly called let macro. So let macro is going to say, I'm going to bind this thing not to a function, but as a new syntactic rewriting form, a new extension to the expander. Right? So we're going to have to add let macro. We're going to have to add S-expressions to curly so that a curly program can manipulate representations of curly programs. And part of that is also adding quote. And for S-expressions in the sun-typed world, we need lists and symbols as well. So that's what we're going to be adding. Notice that we don't have to add S-expressions as a distinct concept from lists and symbols. Again, because we're doing an untyped curly, we can just make those all the same. And so that's why we need numbers, symbols, and lists to accommodate S-expressions.